All right, guys. So I want to start off by saying thank you so much for all the support, all the love that you guys have been showing. The support from this community is honestly fucking amazing. Like, our Discord is continuously growing, our YouTube is growing, our Twitch is growing. So thank you so much. I wanted to say that in advance. Now, let's get on to specific hero builds. A lot of you have actually been asking me about individual hero builds, like builds that I personally run on these individual heroes. And this is more like we're now gonna like lean more towards individual hero builds, even though some of these builds are able to use other characters as well, as more characters do come out, of course, right? So in this case, we're gonna go ahead and do WinduTheMace himself. Let's check it out. All right, guys, so as always, I want to show you guys first how you can get access to all of my builds. I do make it very, very easy. Essentially, once you click on the Discord link below, you're going to get access to my Discord. Once you come in, it'll say, welcome to the Jedi Order. Very simple, very clean. Once you're in there, you're going to see that you're going to be in a channel that says read for access. Little hint, you have to read to get access. Once you read the paragraph, you see that you're signing up for notifications. You're signing up in order to be able to see all my channels. Click on that, click on that little heart like many of you had done already in the past few weeks. Now, then you're going to see all these channels show up on the left-hand side. Now, they might be compressed, they might be extended, whichever it may be. You're going to find the one that says FAULT. Right there under FAULT, you're gonna see it says Windu FAULT builds. There you're gonna be able to see all my previous FAULT builds. You're gonna be able to see all my future FAULT builds as well, as you see here, that don't have a video quite yet, but something that we're gonna be getting to down the road. Now, if you always want the newest builds, the old builds, the videos, everything in the easiest way to access, it's going to be right here. And I do have everything in picture format also. So if you guys really want, you just click on the picture and bam, there goes a build. Easy to follow. If you want the explanation, bam, right below that is a YouTube video explaining why we build these items in that specific order. But if anything, let's get right to the build here. Now, our boy Kwang. Now, Kwang is an interesting one. For me, I've noticed that Kwang is really, really powerful, but he's a little bit tricky to build. And this is why I'm going with this specific build. I'll explain, obviously, as we go, the individual choices and such. But let's start off, as always, with our aspects. Now, the first one is going to be Magician for obvious reasons. Effect number 1, 0.5% of your missing mana regen per second. So that means that the more mana you spend, the more mana you get back. Essentially, off of Magician alone, you'll never need to worry about mana, right? Effect number 2, damaging an enemy with an ability reduces the cooldown of your ultimate. Always very nice, especially if you're Kwang. You're going to be throwing your sword a lot. You're going to be using that lightning from the heavens a lot. You're going to be Kamehameha lightning towards them a lot. So it's basically going to come down to the point that you're going to be able to use your ult a lot more frequently thanks to Magician. Now, our second one is going to be Rook. Now, Rook, effect number 1, CC slows are 50% less effective. So right there, you're already going to be harder to catch, harder to kill off of that one effect, and gain 9% physical and energy armor for 4 seconds when hit by CC. Now, that stacks indefinitely. That means if you just got hit with a Bellica knockup and then followed up with a Narbash Thunk, you now gained 18 physical armor in that short amount of time, and energy armor. So basically, the more CC they hit you in a short time frame, the more armor you get, making you more likely to be able to get out of sticky situations. And as a solo laner, that's going to be huge, especially because with this build, you're going to be doing plenty of damage, but you're also going to be semi frontlining. This is kind of like an energy-based bruiser build in a way. Now, let's get right into the items itself. Now, first, we're actually going to start with a support item. Siren's Call on Kwang. Some of you might be asking, why would you build a white item, Windu? I'll explain. Now, first, it gives you 50 energy power plus 1 energy power per rank if you choose to build into white. In this case, we're not, but it's going to give you 50 energy power. It's going to give you 10% cooldown reduction. So you not only get to do more damage, you get to do damage more frequently. And you get 2 mana regen. On top of that Magician mana regen, you're not going to run out of mana in early game, mid game, or any part of the game, quite frankly, as the game progresses. Now here's the kicker. Your heals and shields are increased by 20%. So your shield from your right click now is increased by 20%. The passive 10% of your remaining shield is converted into health after the shield expires. So if you use your right click, if you get your shield, if your enemy does not take down your shield, you just gain back some health. That is going to be huge as a Kwang, not only to increase your sustainability in lane, but this card increases your damage per second because your cooldown reduction is applied in there, and increases your mana. So you're adding sustainability and damage off of one card on Kwang, and it only costs 2,300, guys. Support items are super cheap, and especially I can definitely see support items being increased in cost later on, but at least for Kwang, this is such a huge item to start off on. Now let's go to item number 2, Inertia Wraps. Now on the Inertia Wraps, these are going to be your boots. Essentially, you're going to have 100% movements. 100 movement speed being added to your total movement speed. So you get the boots right there. 17 physical armor +1 per rank. Now in this build, we are putting all of our favor into the green aspects because we want to become tankier as the game goes on, because we're building quite a bit of damage. We need that infinitely scaling armor to help us out. Now moving forward, so the 17 physical armor +1 physical armor per favor that you put in there. Now the passive 30% CC duration reduction. Don't forget, you already have a 50% reduction on slows. That means that now it's going to be 80% reduction on slows. So slows are basically not going to do shit to you. And then on stuns, knockups and stuff like that, that's 30% reduction on it. That is huge. That means you're going to be able to get out of sticky situations faster. That means you're going to be able to pursue faster. Let's say if it, like, you know, somebody knocks you up or thunks you or stuns you or anything like that when you're chasing them, that means you get back to chasing a lot faster. So it can be both defensive and offensive benefit here for you. Now moving forward to our next item, it's going to be Eldridge Flame. I'll explain why. We're getting another 70 energy power. We're getting another 10% cooldown reduction and 275 health. 275 health, not bad. But the energy power and the cooldown are the main reasons why we're adding this item, because we already got energy power and cooldown from Siren's Call. Our shields are already lasting better, longer because of Siren's Call. We're getting health back because of our shields, because of Siren's Call. And now with Eldridge Flame, we not only add more energy power and cooldown reduction, but now we're adding energy burn damage. Basically, a percentage of your target's max health gets reduced. They take that specific amount over 3 seconds based on how much energy damage you do. Excuse me. So think of it like this: if you go in and hit them with your right click, and then you hit them with your Q, and then you hit them with your E, and then on top of that, if they're still by the tether, then you ult on them. That's 4 instances of energy burn that you just applied, basically chunking their max health slowly with the energy damage that you're applying. This is not only going to be a tank shredder, but you're going to have so much energy damage and cooldown, and you're going to have so much mana off of Siren's Call and off of your aspect that you're quite frankly going to be spamming abilities left and right. You're going to be getting your shield back left and right. You're going to be getting health off of your shield left and right, and you're going to be doing damage left and right. So that's why we're going through these specific items early. Now we're going to go straight into the armor. Then we go right into Baleful Armor. Why? 510 health, not bad. 66 physical armor +1 per rank. Be mindful that we're going to infinitely stack all our favor into green. That means that you're infinitely going to get more armor as the game progresses. But the passive and the actives are the best part about this item. Now the passive, as long as an enemy's around you within 400 units, they're going to take energy damage per second. So now they're getting enemy damage per second just by being around you. Every ability that you hit them with not only does energy damage, but it's burning a percentage of their max health with energy damage, per X amount of seconds. And not only that, again, you're getting your shields, you're getting your cooldown, you're getting health back from your shield if they didn't melt them, etc. Now the active Every second for 5 seconds, enemies within 600 units take 1% of your max health as energy damage. So be mindful, this scales as you level up as your individual character, because you're going to get more health off of it. But you got 510 health off of Baleful Armor. Unyielding Mantle, which is the next item, also gives you extra health. So as long as you're in a team fight, pop the active for Baleful Armor. Everybody around you is now going to get energy damage shredding based off of the active from Baleful Armor, the passive from Baleful Armor, and every ability that you land on all those individuals. They're now all going to have percentage of their max health shredded as well because of Eldridge Flame. So this build is basically to do as much energy damage as possible while simultaneously melting people just by being around them. That's why this build is so powerful. Now, moving forward to Unyielding Mantle, we get more health, which means your active from Baleful Armor is more powerful. But moving forward, you're going to get 36 physical armor as well, and 36 energy armor plus 1 per rank. Since we're investing all of our favor into green, that means that your energy armor is infinitely going to scale as well. Baleful Armor and Inertia Wraps infinitely scale your physical armor. So you're going to have protection from ADCs, you're going to have protection from mages, and as the game progresses, you get tankier. Now, the active for this item is Unstoppable Force. You cleanse and become status immune for 2 seconds. That means that if you're in a sticky situation, if you're in the middle of a team fight, if you're trying to get away and you don't want somebody to knock you up, to stun you, to slow you, etc., you activate this, and for 2 seconds, CC does nothing to you. You're going to be able to get away. You're going to be able to avoid being slowed, avoid being stunned for those 2 seconds. And sometimes those 2 seconds is the difference between you getting back to a safe tower or a safe location, or you getting caught. That one thunk can mean the difference. That one knockup can mean the difference. So be mindful of your actives, and be mindful as well, guys. All of your actives, I do recommend rebinding them to the numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. All you have to do is right click on the item and drag them to the perspective location on the build so you can use all of them. Now, moving forward from here, then we're going to go on to our last item, which is going to be Cursed Remnant. Now, Cursed Remnant, it gives you another 80 energy power, another 10% cooldown reduction, another 300 health, but every time that you land an ability, you apply trauma to the target, you reduce the healing from all sources. Now, this is a little bit late to build anti-heal, I do get that, but quite frankly, with all the tankiness and all the damage that you're doing already, this is just to help solidify the kill. Because at this point, you can be 100% for sure that the ADC has built some sort of lifesteal. Likeliness as a jungler has some sort of lifesteal, or hell, they might be a chimera. They might have their healing right there intact. Now, by landing the ability, you're applying trauma and reducing their healing from all sources. Now, that means every time that you ult, every time that you use your right click, you get the extra shield. If you don't get the extra shield, you get health back. Don't forget, this build has a lot of synergy going on between each other. But that means every person that you hit with an ability, not only are they having a percentage of their max health and basically destroyed by Eldridge Flame, but you're also applying trauma so they can't heal as well. So that honestly makes Eldridge Flame even more effective, and it makes the rest of your incoming abilities even more effective, because by this point, by Siren's Call, Eldridge Flame, and Cursed Remnant, you got 30% cooldown reduction, and that's fucking huge. You're gonna be able to spam abilities left and right. You're gonna have the damage for it. You're gonna have the mana. Excuse me, you're gonna have the mana for it, and as well, when it comes down to it, you're going to reduce their healing. And honestly, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the build. I can't wait to hear all the comments below about how this build went for you. I can't wait to hear below on the Discord, you know, because a lot of you tell me in there like how your build went. You post up your scoreboards, you know, how well you did, etc. You give me feedback on the builds, which I do appreciate, and I do listen to all. But if anything, I just want to say again, thank you guys for all the support that you guys have been showing to the channel. And as always, until the next video.